According to addiction recovery advocates, funding for Oregon teens in recovery is now in jeopardy, and this was a key issue today at the Oregon State Capitol.
Yeah, students attending recovery high schools held a demonstration for lawmakers to raise awareness. Fox 12 investigative reporter Adrian Thomas has followed the recovery high schools this last year, in fact, the last few years, and he joins us now with more. So, Adrian, what's happening here?
Well, Pete, in 2023, we covered House Bill 2767, signed into law by Governor Kotek. It was aimed at creating 9 recovery high schools in Oregon over 6 years. Recovery high schools are designed to create specialized learning environments that combine a regular high school education along with substance abuse treatment. Now, a few years ago, when we covered this legislation, we profiled Harmony Academy, which was one of the first recovery high schools in Oregon. According to the group Oregon Recovers, funding from House Bill 2767 was halted last year due to state budget constraints after just 3 recovery high schools were opened when it was supposed to be 9. Today at the Oregon State Capitol, a large rally was held to call for more funding for all types of addiction services, and part of those demonstrations included students from recovery high schools setting up a life-size board game to show lawmakers how difficult it is for youth to access addiction services while being a full-time high school student. Students we spoke with say without recovery high schools, their lives would have taken a turn for the worst.
I didn't think I was ever going to make it in actual high school, since all of my friends and everybody that I knew just dropped out. At Harmony, it's more like a, how are you doing, like every single day. Really personal, and just they want to see change, which makes you want to change.
And I've received opportunities at Harmony I would have never received before. And the students sitting next to me understand what recovery is, and I don't have to hide.
Now, because of recovery high school, students like Brandon and Kaya are able to pursue higher education, and some of them even become mentors or counselors, helping others in recovery. Now, Oregon is currently in a short legislative session this year, meaning lawmakers only have until early March to pass any type of legislation that could have an impact. We've reached out to legislative leadership to see if lawmakers are intending to address funding issues for addiction services, but have yet to hear back. Live in studio, Adrian Thomas, Fox 12 Oregon.